Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Bhasha Mukherjee and welcome to my channel. If you're new on this channel, I am an NHS junior doctor, model and former Miss England. Today I'm actually about to go to work, but I had to film this before I went because the rest of the week I'm not really going to feel energetic enough to do this. So let's get straight on with it. I have got this old mess here. Sorry, I couldn't be bothered to pack it up nicely because honestly it's such a bulky item, the Dyson Airwrap. It's got so many items in it, it takes an absolute age to put this all away. So yes, it's just stuffed in there. Okay, so you've got to sort of just imagine it. In fact, I'm just gonna put it right there, so I can just point to it instead of keep having to lift it up. Just to give you an insight, this is what my hair looks like 2 days after I've had it done with the Dyson. So I washed my hair on Friday evening. I used obviously the hairdryer section, and then I also used this head, and then I also went over it with this head to try to get a more sleeker look. And I'll be honest, it lasted all of 2 hours max. And this is where this video comes in. This is my final verdict on the Dyson Airwrap. Now, if you watched the first video that I made about the Dyson, which was my opening video, where I actually put in more effort, I think it took me a whole of 40 minutes to do my hair, where I really gave it a good go. I mean, I still didn't give it a perfect go. I didn't section my hair, and I didn't really, do anything bougie like spray it or anything like that, but I still spent a lot longer on my hair than I normally would. Okay, so check out that video just to get an idea of what my first impressions were and the backstory to why I wanted to get the Dyson Airwrap in the first place. So as I explained on that video, I was already in two minds. I think it's extortionately priced, and when I first opened it I thought this is really heavy and clunky and space consuming, but I did feel like the actual product itself is very functional. It's very bougie feeling. It feels very luxurious, you know, the air comes out feeling really smooth, and it makes your hair dry really quickly, and it doesn't feel like a normal hairdryer in terms of being really noisy, airy. This is so weird. To be able to describe air as anything other than airy is really strange, but the Dyson does make the air feel much smoother, and the texture of the air is nicer. I don't know how they achieve this, maybe in the way that they've got the air coming out of the device. So yes, that was my first impression, that I thought, this is really lovely, and actually does make me have really nice hair if I give it the time. And then in subsequent weeks, I actually tried it out. So I tried it out for a total of 3 weeks, where I washed my hair more often than I normally would in order to try to get more use out of the Dyson, to really get a feel for it. Now, I'm a busy woman, and my opinion initially about the Dyson was that this is a hairdryer that does the job for you. It works for you, so you don't have to spend ages doing the job. So it dries it quicker, and because it's so powerful, and at the same time you're skipping a step of having to do your hair nice, and by default after you've had your hair done with Dyson, you're going to have good hair every day. Now, I'll say this, that actually, it feels nice. I've been able to comb my hair, I've had less knots and everything like that. That's my honest opinion of having used it for the last 3 weeks. And I've made a pros and cons list which I'll go through, but I'll tell you what my actual opinion of it was. So I do my hair, and then I would try with the different heads to try to get that effect, that sleek effect. What I really wanted was like sleek hair that didn't have flyaways, that didn't just whoosh up in the air and have this like bulk thing going on, you know, that thing that when you first do your hair where it kind of just stands up like that, it sort of looks really voluminous, but in a bad way. I didn't want that. I wanted everything to just sit nicely and for the volume to be even, and just good hair day, like a blowout hair essentially. And I did say this in the first video that I made, that I haven't had my hair done since August last year. So it's coming to almost a year of me not having really, dyed or anything like that. And I really just wanted to give my hair a break and let it sort of grow out, get healthy again. As I explained before as well, that I've been experiencing female pattern balding. I've got a video on PRP all about that. So go check that one out as well, about me trying to battle with my hair to try to get it to do what I want it to do. So I wanted to give it a break from dyes and things like that. I did cut it around October time, and it was just actually, I got rid of quite a lot of hair then. It was a bit of a mental breakdown situation where I just had to do something, and I just went and chopped it myself rather than going to the hairdressers. I have to give you this, guys. People that go to the hairdressers regularly, it's really difficult to get appointments, and for the appointments to align with your schedule, and then it takes ages. It takes hours in the hairdressers. So I feel it's such an inconvenience for me, but I'm hoping to do something about my hair this year. Okay, you have to understand, for the first 21 years of my life, well, actually longer than that, 23 years of my life, I didn't really get my hair done professionally or anything like that. I just cut it myself and style it myself and dye it myself, which is probably something I wouldn't recommend anymore. But, you know, I'm not used to this, like, going to the hairdresser's ordeal situation. I wish I'd had some highlights, or it was layered, and then probably it would have looked even nicer, right? And that's where the problem is. I was expecting the Dyson to do all the work and make my hair look amazing, when actually the people that I've seen look good with the Dyson hair, essentially, are people who probably have already quite a high maintenance for their hair, where they do their hair quite regularly, get their hair dyed and layered and styled quite regularly. So their hair already has this upkeep on the background, and the Dyson just makes that hairstyle look nicer. And on top of that, I think some of these hairstyles that are being created, or even, you know, people going through their whole routine, they're spending at least an hour after shower, at least, to get their hair to that level. I don't have that time. And frankly speaking, I don't intend to have that time or make that time, because to me, that's not something I enjoy doing. It's not part of my routine. And to say that the effect of it lasts so less time, actually. I'm quite a sporty person, so I work out a couple of times a week, but I found that to wash my hair every time I worked out, it just was not good for my hair. I was having a lot of hair loss as a result of it. So I don't wash my hair every time I, you know, do sports or something like that. And I've noticed that the Dyson, no matter how amazing your hair looks after you've dried it, after you've treated it, after you've put your hair up, which I have to, because I don't like leaving my hair open when I go to bed, because then I get more hair loss, and you know, my hair rubs off on my pillow and everything. So I have to put a bobble in it and stuff in bed. I have to tie my hair up at work, and it has to be an updo, because I have to put it up for infection control purposes, because I work as a doctor, and I have to put my hair up for working out. And in all those situations, my hair gets kinks in it. It gets knotted and tangled up. Also, like, it gets greasy and sweaty, for example, when I'm working out and all the rest of it. And then if I shower with the hair without actually washing my hair, then it gets damp and it gets a little bit, you know, moisture in it and stuff like that. So all these things are what naturally happens to my hair on an everyday basis. And I found that what I thought the Dyson would do was give me this hair, good hair, regardless of all these things happening. And that's not what's happening at all. Actually, the hairstyle that you create with the Dyson falls out within a couple of hours, and by the next morning it kind of looks like this, what my natural hair normally looks like anyway, you know, a bit kinky, a bit wavy. The parts that are normally wavy around the front that kind of don't look that nice, I'm not a fan of. It kind of looks a bit messy. They still look like this, and this is after I've had done with it. Now, I don't really feel the need to go back and do it again. That's not the point of this. The point is to, you know, expose your hair to less heat. And when I straighten my hair on the odd occasions once a week, that will usually last me a whole week. I might just have to put a bit of dry shampoo in it and it'll still be good to go. Okay, which this doesn't last at all. To me, it's not really giving me what I intended it for it to do, which is a baseline good hair every day. In fact, the other day when I was trying to do this, I washed my hair, conditioned it, and actually dried really nicely with my natural nice curls, which only really look good in the first day, and then it kind of doesn't. That's why I don't really like it, that particular look. But my natural hair is wavy and it has like these loose curls. And I noticed that to just get that out, it was really difficult to take the actual kinks properly out. Parts will still get kinky and they'll still get that natural wave in it, even after I'd gone over it with the Dyson. And I actually felt really bad taking that out of my hair. In terms of hair loss, the Dyson gives you a false reassurance that you're not getting much hair loss. And maybe in comparison to other devices, overall, there's less hair loss. But because the air comes out in such force from the actual holes in this product and the other products, you don't really get much accumulation of hair in your brush. So I suppose there's one good thing, that it doesn't really get as mucky and dirty, right? But you get hair loss everywhere else on the floor and everywhere else you can think of, okay? Maybe the number is marginally less, but I still saw hair on the floor. So to me, it's not one of those situations where I'm not getting any hair loss or anything like that, right? So another thing, I already complained about this before. I already had a list of things that I had issues with. I have really long hair and really thick hair, and even after layering, I can imagine there are people who are going to have longer, thicker hair at the back, right? It's not suited for hair like this. It's actually, in the nicest way possible, actually better suited to people with possibly lighter hair, like Caucasian hair, I think, than South Asian hair. And I don't even know if I have proper South Asian hair. South Asian hair is quite heavy, and it's quite thicker, like the texture's thicker, in my opinion anyway. And I've only seen the Dyson, in terms of on the website and everywhere, it kind of looked good on Caucasian females and Caucasian hair and short hair and thin hair and light hair. Not so much on dark hair. Now light hair, when it's treated and dyed and has got highlights and all these things, you can see the style, you can see the different gradient and the light and dark and all these things. And I find a huge problem with this, because it then tells us South Asian women that we need to have highlights and lighter colours and lighter tones and Caucasian tones in our hair, when actually our natural hair is dark. And doing those styles on our hair, it doesn't show up that well. It doesn't do anything particularly. It kind of just... And the sleekness that I was looking for, that I get with a straightener or a curler, that sort of smoothness, which this thing is supposed to be more heat protective and, overall nicer. I didn't even get that sleekness. So what's the point of me exposing my hair to heat in the first place if I have to redo it? I have to spend a long time doing it, longer than I would have to if I just curled or straightened it. And it doesn't last. It doesn't even give the effect that I want to in the first place. And maybe that's down to my skill level, but you're marketing this product at normal people, not hairdressers. You're marketing this to people to try to make life easier for them with your curling, with, for example, this thing here, which just naturally picks things up. Well, actually, to make this have the effect that you want it, you do have to still clip it up, you do still have to put, spray on, and you still have to section your hair and do all these extra steps. So where are we saving time exactly? We're not, are we? Okay, rant over. I'm now going to go on to my summary of the pros and cons, okay? So I've used it for 3 weeks, and my final verdict is I'm sending it back because I don't like it. Okay, so that's my final verdict, and it's not. First of all, when I first used it, it felt very different from a normal hairdryer. It felt really smooth, really lovely. As I said, the texture of the hair and the air feels really lovely. Okay, it feels really nice and bougie. Multiple tools. You are paying for 10 items essentially. So if you're paying normal price, which is roughly about £500, you divide that by 5, you're paying for about roughly £50 per item. For me, I bought this for about £379. Divide that by 10, I've probably paid just under £40 per item. £40 for one item, one piece, okay? I did try to look into trying to get individual portions and pieces, and it's really difficult to find like just the body with just one head or something like that, and they are still really expensive. Like the body alone is about £200-300. So, anyway, but they are multiple tools, okay? And they are high quality scientific Dyson products. So you've got that name behind it, you've got the quality behind it. So very, very good quality items. And it does retain its value. So if you do want to resell it, you'll be able to resell this item because, and you'll get really good return on it as well, because actually most people are selling it for like the original price, £479. And even with it being a refurbished item, it actually ended up being almost as good quality as a first-hand item. And I didn't feel like it was a second-hand item or anything like that at all. So it's a reliable source, especially if you buy it from the eBay seller, Dyson Zone, and you can have a look in the link where I got it from. Then it's a reliable seller. You get 1-year warranty and 30-day returns. So by all means, if you want to give it a try, just to, see if it's for you, then you've got that option of doing it. I will say that on lots of other websites, like the Boots website, Amazon is extortionately priced, like 700 odd pounds in Amazon. I don't know why, but I think you get 2-year warranty or 3-year warranty or something like that. Dyson website, the refurbished ones are out of stock as well. And I will say, if you've got longer hair or about as long as me, I would say go for the Dyson long, because the short one is for short hair and it's really not going to do the job. Even this one I found was not really picking up all my hair that I want. And yes, if you put the effort in and the time in, you will have good hair. And if you don't have to, if you are one of those people that goes out every day and has nice hair, able to show it off, able to have it open, then this is a good product, especially if you're doing your hair every day and exposing it to heat, okay? So this is a good alternative to that, if you're that kind of person. If you're not, which I'm not, I'm a doctor, I have to put my hair up all the time, so my hair, it looks messy and ugly most of the time. I can't have it nice and out, and if I do a nice hairstyle, I can't just wear it out like this, you know? Then I don't think this is for you. Falls out really quickly, almost immediately it starts to fall out and you see it straight away. Even if you straightened it or even if you curled it, it doesn't really retain the style at all. I don't think it actually even executes it that well. There are dupes available. There are even dupes available in terms of other hairstylers, hair curlers, dryers even, hair dryers even, that will achieve similar results for you within much lesser price. And they're not necessarily these rogue brands from Amazon. They're actually like, where, you know, for example, Remington and Babyliss. There's so many others that Revlon do it as well. So many brands that have you know, got versions of this product essentially, or something similar to it. Okay, so I will try, you know, I'll recommend you try those out before you go for something this expensive. But obviously, if you've saved up for it and you're trying to treat yourself, then, you know, it's up to you what you want to do with your money. So expensive, extortionately priced. With that money, I can, you know, save up. So if I paid the full amount, £500, I can get a car for that much. Yes, it wouldn't be a great car, but there are cars available for that much money. Very heavy. As I mentioned, it's such a clunky product. I won't be able to take it on holiday, which is about the only time where I have my hair done nice every other day, every single day. And I'm not even talking about going holiday abroad, okay? Because that's a different thing. But you know, imagine if you're just going to a different city for a gig. Like for me, I'm the kind of person, I will have periods of time where I'm doing work, and then I'll have annual leave and I'll go on events, I'll do all these other things. I'll have to travel. I still have to travel between cities. And I can't carry that thing because I need to travel light to have space for my makeup, for my clothes, my shoes. My heels take up so much space. This takes about as much space as my heels, if not more. And I can't have that. I can't be carrying this much on like day trips and things like that, okay? It does not feel practical at all, all right? Storage issues, as I mentioned in my first video, I haven't got a lot of space for it. At the minute, it's been just crammed in this corner in my room where it's collecting dust, which is clearly not good for the item in the first place. And it's not in a very nice place, essentially. And this does not feel practical for me to keep because it takes up so much room. My other hair tools, I can just stuff them up and just put them in a corner and they can just stay there. And I know I can do that with this too, but it does not feel, it feels too expensive for me to kind of do that too. Do you know what I mean? In a way, I'm the kind of person that I will buy cheap and I will mistreat it and not feel bad about it. Whereas this feels like I have to kind of put it on a pedestal and treat it like worship it almost. And it feels inauthentic to me, you know? And that is the final reason why I am giving this product back, because it feels inauthentic to me. I have been the person, even if I've always had really good savings, really good financial health, and you know, I touch wood, I'm in a job which pays well and is secure as well. I mean, it doesn't pay that well. I mean, the underpayment of medics and doctors in the NHS in the UK is a whole other issue, which I'm not willing to go into today. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I don't have financial issues as such. But growing up, I've always been very financially conscious, which is what amounted to me being financially healthy. I've always ever bought clothes from charity shops and, you know, believed in recycling and repurposing and, you know, reusing items. And being frugal is not just a case of affordability, which it started off for me that way, but actually it became more of a kick. Why pay more when you can pay less? You know, and always be critical about what you're paying for. Is this worth what I'm paying for it? You know? Whereas when you go to charity shops, you get so much variety, and I always go for the steals, the bargains, the ones that don't look that like they're £5, but they look about £50 worth, but I'll get it because it's selling for that much. And it gives me a little kick, a little bit of an adrenaline rush. That makes me happy. And that's one of the things that I'm really excited about. I'm always looking for deals. I've always been, you know, in the past I've been a reviewer for Boots, for Amazon. I've been a reviewer and, you know, influencer, so to speak, on social media as well, where I've been sent items, gifted items, and then, you know, in exchange I've created content for them, etc. So for me, I'm always looking for that. And to buy something that doesn't even really achieve what it's meant to do for that much money, I'm never going to be able to justify it. I'm always going to have this slight, like, you know, like a little bit of an ick towards it, like, ugh, why are you so expensive? And this is why it took me so long to make the decision to buy it. Because in my head, it wasn't a straightforward yes or no. It was a, but should I, but shouldn't I? But it's so expensive. Why does it need to be this expensive? I can afford this, but I don't want to afford this. I don't think it deserves this much. I don't think the makers deserve this much money for the product they've made. And I think for that reason, I don't believe in paying them for it. So that's why it's going back. Okay, so that is my final verdict on the Dyson Airwrap. Sorry that I completely trashed it, but I think I needed to watch a video like this. And there really wasn't something like this out there. Anyway, if you thought this video was useful and if you're considering buying the Dyson Airwrap, if you've already used it, if you have it and you think it's amazing, then write something in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Please help a sister out. And the good thing about this, even if I send it back, I can always buy it back again. You know, it's not going away anywhere. That's another reason. I'm sending it back because I don't need it right now, but maybe in a couple of years I might change my mind. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Give us a like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Mwah! Bye-bye.